Hello and welcome to CNN News 18 with me, Ayushman Singh Jamwal. Breaking news coming in at the top of the bulletin from West Bengal. Now, massive protests erupted in Bengal's Mednipur on Friday over corruption charges leveled against a school principal in connection to midday meal. Students held protests and several vehicles were torched during the agitation. That's the piece of breaking news coming in at the top of the bulletin. Anger over the midday meal scheme in Mednipur, where students protested, levelling allegations against a school principal. This coming in Mednipur in West Bengal. Those visuals on your screen of the agitation which turned violent. And there you can see vehicles were also torched as students are angered when it comes to corruption charges levelled against a school principal. And this is in connection to the midday meal scheme. Students were the ones who were leading this protest against the school principal, and several vehicles, as you can see on your screen, were torched during the agitation. We'll get the latest updates from Ground Zero, but those visuals on your screen, locals in Mednipur angered over when it comes to these corruption charges that have been levelled against a school principal in connection to the midday meal scheme. I'm joined by my colleague Shaugata Mukhopadhyay on the broadcast on this piece of breaking news. Shaugata, what's the latest from Ground Zero?
Well, Ayushman, this happened yesterday, during an inspection that was being conducted by the local BDO because of these, some of these charges that had been leveled against the school over irregularities in putting up, official figures over how the school was performing vis-a-vis the midday meal scheme. When the school headmaster was being showcased by the BDO, the headmaster apparently named a school staff, a clerk, for having done, whatever the irregularity he was charged with. And as and when that happened, the school staff and his family members apparently assaulted the headmaster and a couple of teachers. Looking at the way the school headmaster and the teachers was assaulted by the clerk, the students got very angry and back, and the backlash was on the clerk and the two-wheelers that he and his daughter had brought to the school and set them on fire and ransacked some of the adjacent properties. That was the backlash of the school staff assaulting the headmaster and a couple of teachers as a result of the allegations of irregularities over the midday meal scheme. Obviously, this ruckus led to the local police reached the spot in great numbers, and the situation was then brought under control. I can tell you, Ayushman, that the incident was brought under control. No arrests have been made in this issue, and the situation currently obviously remains in control.
Right, the situation remains under control, but that massive protest erupted on Friday. Those visuals on your screen, the police lathi charging the protesters and the agitators also torching those vehicles on your screen. Let's listen in to one of the protesters. We're getting a reaction of what the protesters had to say when it comes to this agitation over these corruption charges leveled against a school principal in East Mednipur in West Bengal.
आज जो स्कूल में हुआ वो हम लोग को एक्सपेक्टेड नहीं था, क्योंकि स्कूल जैसा एक एजुकेशन इंस्टीट्यूशन ऐसा हो सकता है, हम लोग को बियॉन्ड एक्सपेक्टेशन है ये हम लोग का। कांड के लिए जो अभी रिस्पॉन्सिबल है उसके अगेंस्ट इंक्वायरी होगा एंड अगर देखा जाएगा कि वो इसका अंदर युक्त है तो उसका अगेंस्ट में पूरा अरेस्ट होगा। जो इधर पे जो गांव वाले हैं वो इतना टेम्प्टेड हो गए थे कि पुलिस आदमी के ऊपर में अटैक होगा एवं पत्थर लाठी सब लोग वो फेंकने लगे। इसलिए मॉब को हटाने के लिए अभी थोड़ा पुलिस को उनका काम करना पड़ा।
Right. So, Shaugata, right now, as you were saying, no arrests have been made, but has a inquiry been launched into these corruption charges? Are locals going to be questioned, including the school staff, to get to the bottom of these charges?
Well, you see, if you look at the way the midday meal scheme in Bengal is running, the per head allotment of money for midday meal is a little over 4 rupees, Ayushman. And if you obviously it is not possible for any school to sort of have a midday meal scheme fully operational with the allotment of a little over 4 rupees per head per children, to run in a full-fledged manner. As a result of which, the numbers that get uploaded on the on the portal, which is giving a thorough account of the number of students who are beneficiaries of this scheme, there is bound to be there are bound to be irregularities, because it is not possible to cook and serve meals with an allotment of 4.5 rupees per person. This is a major malaise that currently plagues schools across Bengal, and this is perhaps the reason why there have been charges of irregularities in putting up those numbers on the website as to how many students have actually been beneficiaries, in that scheme on a daily basis. This particular school is no exception, and when that irregularity in the numbers that the school was trying to show on its government portal, that resulted in the DDO taking cognizance and issuing a show cause notice to the headmaster. Following which, the headmaster, obviously, what we are getting to know from our sources, named one of the school staff as being responsible for tabulating and computing those numbers on the local on the government website. And when that happened, the staff actually went and attacked, allegedly went and attacked the headmaster and a couple of teachers along with his family members, and that resulted in a counter backlash by the students. And the targeting of the vehicles of the particular school staff, and the situation suddenly going out of control. A small incident suddenly flaring up and taking up such dimensions is exceptional, but the malaise is deep down and is probably not or just exclusive to this particular school in East Midnapur.
Right. Right. Thank you, Shogata, for joining us on the broadcast and getting us the latest from Ground Zero. So a backlash and a counter backlash over charges of corruption when it comes to a midday meal scheme at this school in East Midnapur. But as Shogata is pointing out, no arrests have been made so far, but the investigation into those charges is still ongoing. But let's